Hi, my name is Paige. Welcome to my first video of 2022. Since this is my first video of the year, I figured I would take a moment to introduce myself to anybody who does not know me. My name is Paige. I am 27 years old. I live in Arizona. I used to be a teacher, and I am currently trying to figure out what I want to do with my life now that I am no longer a teacher. So I'm going to be trying to discover that this year. Hopefully it still allows me time to put out content, but I am feeling very motivated in putting out as much as I can this year. I am eager to read. I'm eager to get to know more people and talk about books, and I'm just having a really good first few days of the year. So hopefully that is a sign that this year is going to be much better than 2021 was, because that was the worst year ever. But I assumed that since you are here for my TBR video, you would like to know more about my TBR game. So every single month I try and pull about 4 prompts, maybe more, depending on what I am feeling, and I pick my books based off those prompts so that I can hopefully get through my TBR. I do have a board game element to it, which is this board game right here. So for every TBR prompt that I complete, I get to move 1 space. I never know how to word this next part. For every 2 non-TBR books that I read, I get to move 1 space. You'll catch on as we go along. But last month I did also have to take punishment, because in November I basically read nothing but fan fiction, because that is who I am. I choose fan fiction over books any day. That being said, I had to mood read if I wanted to, which I did, and I will talk about in a second. I also needed to create a playlist for my favorite book, which I did not do. I needed to read at minimum 1 hour a day for a week and post updates on Instagram. I absolutely read 1 hour a day, every day, but it was mostly fan fiction, and I did not post updates on Instagram, so I failed this one. I needed to create a mood board for one of my favorite books and post it on Instagram, which I did do. So I completed that one. And the final one I finished was to create a fan art, and I also posted that on Instagram. I kind of covered a lot of it because it was not very good, because I don't know how to draw people. But that being said, I already have to start off the year with a bit of a punishment, and my rules originally were that I need to count how many spaces I move forward and do a random number generator between 1 and said number. But I don't want to start off my year on a super negative note, so I'm just going to roll a dice. Alright, so for the first punishment that I did not complete, let's see how many spaces I need to move backwards. Roll a dice. She said it's 1 this time. And for the second punishment that I did not finish, let's see how many I move backwards. Roll a dice. It's 6, so I need to move a total of 7 spaces backwards. Let's just go ahead and do that right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm not terribly far away from the start, but I still have a long ways to go to get to the end. And at the end, I still have not decided what my reward will be. I have about 4 options that I might choose from, and I'm still thinking that I want to put all of the options in an envelope and then draw them at random when I get to the end, just so it's still a surprise and I don't give up halfway through and go, oh, I don't even want that reward anymore. So I'm trying to keep it more of a surprise for myself, so once we get to the end, we will all find out together what my reward will be. But I do get to gain some of those spaces back because I did complete all 4 of my prompts last month. I needed to reread a book, read a 2020 Goodreads Choice Award, read an audiobook, and read a book over 300 pages. And I completed that all with The Black Flamingo, which was over 300 pages, Heartstopper Volume 1, which was a reread. I also read Heartstopper Volume 2, but Heartstopper Volume 3 was my Goodreads Choice Award winner. And I listened to A Court of Frost and Starlight on audiobook and remember virtually nothing of it because I did not read along with most of it. But I did complete it. So for all 4 of these books and the prompts that I completed, I get to move 4 spaces forward again. So I really only lost 3 spaces. I feel like that's fair. So I need to move this way. 1, 2, 3. And we are here again. We have quite a ways to go, so hopefully in these next few months I will be able to at least catch up to where I started and get quite a bit further. So let's go ahead and talk about the prompts for this month. So because it was the holidays the past couple of weeks, I was with my family and I decided it would be pretty fun to have my family pick these prompts for me, just because I sometimes feel like I accidentally grab the same ones over and over again. I don't know if it's just me putting them in the same spot and then pulling them out of the same spot. So my family totally picked this. The first one was my mom, and I will show you all the clips of my family picking these out. The lighting will change drastically because I was in very cool tone light there, so forgive the color changes. But this is my mom picking the first prompt.
She's a paper sheet. Own voices. Right.
So she chose an own voices pick, and I am going to be reading Wolfsong by Klune. It is a reread, but I am going to be reading it for Serena at Read the Riot, and I'm going to be annotating it and sending it to her just because we thought it was a really fun idea to do. And I want her to read this and I want her to appreciate it as much as I do. So this is an own voices book about a boy named Ox who lives in a town called Green Creek. At the very beginning, he's 12 years old and we watch him throughout his life, but he starts off being abandoned by his father, and then throughout the course of his life he ends up meeting this family of werewolves called the Bennett family. He doesn't at first know that they are werewolves, but we do find out eventually, and he is really connected and tied and drawn to this family. And this book is just about grief and loss and found family and really strong character relationships, and it is the first TJ Klune book that I ever read, and I loved it immediately. I fell in love with TJ Klune immediately from there. So I need Serena to love it, and I'm going to be rereading it. This might not be finished in the month because we are giving ourselves 2 to 3 months to annotate our books for each other. So I might take a punishment for this one, but I still do need to read it. So my cousin Sydney picked my second prompt.
Color in title.
Okay. And for color in the title, I decided to go with Hazel and the Deep Blue Sea by Ashley Herring Blake. I've only read one story by her, which was Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World. Fell in love with it, and I have heard great things from Jess at Books Past Bedtime. She loves Ashley Herring Blake's stories, and I have been just wanting to pick up all of them, but I end up forgetting them on my cart. So we are finally getting to this one, and I am very, very excited. And it looks like it is about a girl named Hazel who had like the perfect life, but then one of her mothers dies, and her other mother moves them to a different town where her mom reconnects with an old friend, and it looks like Hazel meets her own friend, maybe possibly somebody that she doesn't quite get along with at first, but it's about healing and grief, and I'm gonna cry for sure, 100%. But I'm very excited because I did love Ivy Aberdeen. I cried through that one too, so gotta give this one a go. All right, then my Aunt Marcia decided to pick my third prompt.
Ooh, perfect. We just got more of these, right? All on sale. What is that?
A hardcover. And she drew a hardcover, and as I said, I've been really wanting to read more Ashley Herring Blake, and I've had this on my TBR for a very long time. I think I said I was going to read it a million TBRs ago, and I did not. So I'm going to be reading Girl Made of Stars. This one also seems like it's going to be a definite tearjerker. It seems to have a lot of trigger warnings as well. I believe it's about a girl whose best friend accuses the girl's brother of raping her, and the girl, I think her name's Mara, just doesn't really know what to believe. She doesn't want to believe her brother could do something, but she also wants to believe her friend. So I've heard it's a really good book, and I am very excited. I've been meaning to read it for a very long time, so I'm excited to just get 2 Ashley Herring Blake books read in the month. Then my Uncle Phil decided to pick my fourth prompt. Who wants to pick my fourth one?
I will.
Okay.
Right. We have to be back here to pick it?
Yes. You gotta be in the camera.
Oh, lowest rated. That's not fun.
A what?
A lowest rated.
Ew.
I was not very excited about lowest rated, but I did look on Goodreads, and it ended up being The Removed by Brandon Hobson, which I personally think sounds pretty good. This book also seems to be dealing with a lot of grief. There's a family in this whose one of their son has been killed by a police shooting, and the other family members are kind of reeling with it and dealing with it in their own possibly not safe or healthy ways. And I believe that on a Cherokee holiday they come together, and I'm not quite sure what goes on from there. It says that it is drawing on a Cherokee folklore, and there is spiritual and real elements, and I don't know, I'm interested to see why it might not be rated the highest on Goodreads, so I will let you know how this one goes. But I think it sounds really good. I am clearly picking all of the grief-ridden books, which might not be great for me, but we will push through. And finally, my other cousin Becca picked my 5th prompt.
One more.
That's not fun either.
It's DNF.
That means it did not finish. So for DNF, there are a couple of books that I just started reading and never finished in the past couple of years, and one of them was The Adventurers by Bryce Oakley. I remember enjoying it at first. I just think that I had other books that I was really eager to read, so this one just got kind of put on the back burner. So I'm finally going to pick it up. It is a sapphic romance, and from what I can remember, one woman moves to a different city after getting her heart broken and then meets this older woman who is a vet. And I remember that there was kittens, I believe, or maybe puppies. They were really young animals. I believe it was kittens. And I think that's where I stopped, but I know that they're gonna fall in love, and I assume they go on some adventures. So I was enjoying it. I just forgot that I was reading it one day. So this will be my pick for a DNF. But those are not the only books that I will be reading, or at least trying to finish in the month. So last month I made one promise only, and that was that I would finish The Final Empire. And I feel like I'm letting everybody down by telling you that I did not finish it. But I have been reading it. It is just taking me a lot longer than I anticipated. I can blame it on the holidays, but sometimes I get intimidated to pick it up. But I am about a third of the way through. I have some markers of the different parts that I want to finish, and it will be done. It will be done in this month. Me and Serena have been buddy reading it. We've been talking about it. We've just been kind of taking it slow. It is really readable. We are also listening along to the audiobook, and every time I pick it up, I really enjoy it. It's just every time I set it down, I then forget to pick it back up again. So I am behind, but it will be finished, and I am enjoying it. So I promise one day The Final Empire will be completed. I have at least started it though. That's better than all the other times that I said I was going to read it and never picked it up. And for the other book that I am reading this month, it is The Love Hypothesis by Hazelwood. Me and Serena are actually doing a book club. I have not announced it on video yet, but you can join us at the Fanfiction Readathon, where we are hosting the Story Continued book club. And our book club is themed after fanfiction. So we are trying to find books that were once a fanfiction or that were inspired heavily by different fandoms, different movies, different shows, and even retellings of different mythologies and folklores and whatnot. So we are really excited to just have a book club dedicated to fanfiction tropes, fanfiction themes, because we love fanfiction so much, and I feel like it's bleeding into all of the published books that are happening now, and a lot of authors get their starts with fanfiction, and we want to really celebrate that and bring books and fanfiction together. So we are so excited about this, and we also have the next 3 books for the year picked out as well. So in February we will be reading Point Pleasant by Jen Archer Wood, which was a supernatural fanfiction, and I cannot wait for this one. It is taking everything in me to not buy it right now and read it right now, but that is February's pick. In March we are going to be reading The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, which we decided that a retelling of Greek mythology is definitely kind of like a fanfiction of old stories. So that is our March pick. I am very excited about this one as well. I've been meaning to read it forever, and we cannot wait to get to that one. And for our April pick, it is Gallant by V.E. Schwab, which is apparently inspired by Crimson Peak, which I don't know about, but the rest of the friends that we have on our Discord server were talking a lot about it, and we decided to add it to April. So we are so excited for the next couple of months in this book club. Please join us. All of the information you need will be down below. It will take you to our Fanfiction Readathon Discord, but within that Discord is where we're hosting the book club. I really hope that you join us. We are having so much fun. It is also not too late to read The Love Hypothesis. We are going all the way through January talking about this one, and we might even have a movie night together and watch a little bit of Star Wars towards the end of the month. So if you want to see how I do with all of these books in the month of January, please subscribe. And if you have made it this far in the video, go ahead and leave any science themed emojis in the comments so that I know that you've been watching. But I think that is all that I have for this video. I am super excited for 2022. I really hope that this is everybody's year and that it is way better than the past couple of years. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video, which I am hoping to put out on Friday. All right, bye.